The confirmation dropped quietly at first, just a line on the Spotlight Awards guest list, but it didn't stay quiet for long. Within minutes, fans noticed it. Screenshots spread. Group chats exploded. Two names, listed separately, yet appearing on the same night, at the same venue, under the same golden headline, Spotlight Awards 2026. Faye Peraya, Yoko Apasra. For 365 days, fans had lived on memories, edits, and unanswered questions. Since the 2025 split, there had been no shared stages, no joint photos, no public interaction beyond carefully neutral interviews. Many believed the chapter was closed for good. Others never stopped watching for signs. This was the sign. The official Spotlight Awards announcement confirmed both actresses would attend, not virtually, not via recorded messages, but in person. Red carpet, live broadcast, no filters, no distance. Almost immediately, speculation took over social media. Was this just coincidence or something carefully negotiated behind closed doors? Industry insiders began whispering about seating arrangements, rehearsal schedules, and red carpet timing. Fans zoomed in on every detail, from agency statements to the order of nominees listed on the awards page. What made the moment even more intense was the context. Both Faye and Yoko were nominated for Best Actress, largely due to the continued global success of Blank the series, a project that had ended, but somehow never really left the public conversation. Streaming numbers had surged again in late 2025, pushing the series back into trending lists and reigniting debates about its cultural impact and about them. Two women, one award category, one stage, and a past no one had fully explained. Then came the rumors. A TikTok video went viral claiming a private reconciliation meeting had taken place weeks earlier. The clip showed grainy footage of what looked like two familiar silhouettes entering a private lounge through separate doors. No faces, no confirmation, but the timing was suspicious enough to fuel theories overnight. Some fans believed the meeting was real. Others dismissed it as wishful thinking. Still, the idea planted itself firmly in the narrative. Maybe this Spotlight Awards appearance wasn't just professional, it was personal. Behind the scenes, management teams were reportedly under pressure. Fable and 9 Star, the agencies representing Faye and Yoko respectively, were said to be negotiating everything from interview zones to photo call spacing. Who walks first? Who stands where? Who speaks if the other wins? Nothing was being left to chance. And yet, despite all the planning, one truth remained unavoidable. This would be the first time since 2025 that Faye and Yoko would exist in the same public space, under the same lights, with millions watching, not just for awards, but for eye contact, body language, and moments that couldn't be scripted. Fans weren't just waiting for trophies. They were waiting for answers. And as the countdown to Spotlight Awards 2026 began, one question echoed louder than all the rest. Is this simply a professional reunion? Or the beginning of something no one expected to see again? The night of the Spotlight Awards arrived wrapped in a kind of tension that could almost be felt through screens. Outside the venue, barricades lined the red carpet as fans gathered hours early, holding banners, light sticks, and handmade signs bearing two names that hadn't been spoken together in public for a year. Chants rose and fell, sometimes calling Faye, sometimes Yoko, sometimes both in the same breath. Even before the first car arrived, the reunion energy had already taken over the night. Inside, the atmosphere was no calmer. Production staff moved quickly, whispering into headsets. Camera operators double-checked angles. Producers stood clustered around seating charts, making last-minute adjustments that no one officially acknowledged but everyone understood. This was not just an awards show. It was a moment. Faye arrived first. Her car pulled up smoothly, the door opening to flashes that erupted instantly. She stepped onto the carpet in a deep, elegant gown that balanced confidence with restraint. Calm, composed. She smiled, waved, answered questions with practiced ease. When asked about her nomination, she thanked the fans. When asked about Blank the series, she spoke warmly but carefully. And when a reporter gently asked, "Are you excited to see familiar faces tonight?" she paused, just half a second too long to go unnoticed. "Yes," she said finally. "It's been a meaningful year. Nothing more, nothing less." Minutes later, the energy shifted. Yoko's arrival was announced quietly through headsets, but the crowd reacted before anyone inside could. The cheers changed pitch. Louder, sharper, emotional. She stepped out wearing a look that felt symbolic in ways fans would analyze for days. Soft, understated, nothing flashy, yet impossible to ignore. Her smile was smaller than usual, but genuine. She answered questions thoughtfully, thanking her team, her fans, and the project that had shaped her year. When asked the same question about seeing familiar faces, she smiled slightly and said, "I think tonight will bring many memories." Again, nothing explicit. Inside the hall, they were seated apart, but not far. Too close to ignore. Too distant to pretend it was accidental. Cameras caught it first, a glance from Faye's side of the room, subtle and quick. Then, later, Yoko looking up as someone passed between them, her expression unreadable. Social media lit up instantly with screenshots, slowed clips, and theories. Every blink, every breath became a headline. As the ceremony continued, the tension built. When Blank the series was mentioned, applause lingered longer than usual. When Best Actress nominations were announced, the room grew quiet. Both names were called. Both women stood. Both smiled, but neither looked at the other. The award went to someone else. A collective exhale swept the room and the internet. Relief, disappointment, and confusion collided. But something unexpected happened next. As the winner finished her speech and applause filled the hall, Faye turned slightly in her seat. Not toward the stage, but sideways. Toward Yoko. It wasn't dramatic. No wave. No nod. Just eye contact. For a brief moment, the noise of the room seemed to fade. Yoko looked back, surprised at first, then softened. Her lips curved into a small, private smile. She didn't look away immediately. Neither did Faye. The cameras missed it, but fans didn't. Someone in the audience had caught the moment on their phone. Within minutes, the clip was everywhere. Titled, Replayed, Dissected. They saw each other. That wasn't acting. That smile said everything. After the ceremony, chaos returned in full force. Backstage, paths crossed. No microphones. No official photos. Just a brief moment near a hallway exit where witnesses later claimed they saw them stop. Speak. Laugh. Quietly. Not long. Not dramatic. But real. By the time both had left the venue, fans were already calling it a reunion. Others insisted it was just closure. Industry insiders remained silent, refusing to confirm or deny anything beyond what had already been seen. But one thing was undeniable. For the first time in a year, Faye and Yoko were no longer separated by silence. And whatever the truth behind their story might be, professional, personal, or something in between, Spotlight Awards 2026 had reopened a door no one believed would move again. The frenzy didn't die down after that night. It only grew. And somewhere between speculation and hope, fans began asking a new question. What happens after the spotlight fades and the cameras are gone? The morning after the Spotlight Awards felt nothing like a normal post-event calm. It felt like an aftershock. Clips from the night flooded every platform, some official, most not. The brief eye contact, the half smile, the alleged backstage crossing that no camera was supposed to catch. Fans slowed videos frame by frame, arguing over intent, emotion, and meaning. What should have been a single awards night had turned into the most analyzed 24 hours of the year. Neither Faye nor Yoko posted anything. That silence only made the frenzy louder. By midday, entertainment reporters began circling the agencies. Fable and Nine Star were unusually quiet, releasing identical neutral statements thanking the Spotlight Awards and congratulating all nominees. No mention of each other. No denial. No clarification. For longtime followers, that absence spoke volumes. Inside the industry, whispers grew sharper. Stylists hinted that the outfits were chosen with symbolism in mind. Staff members leaked that the seating placement had been adjusted twice on the day of the ceremony, once to keep distance, once to make sure the cameras could catch both reactions during key moments. Nothing about the night had been accidental. Meanwhile, fans noticed something else. 2 hours apart, Faye and Yoko each liked the same fan edit. An old clip from Blank the series set to a quiet instrumental, captioned simply, "Some stories don't end." They pause. It was subtle, almost invisible, but not invisible enough. The edit went viral instantly. Speculation turned into conviction. Comment sections filled with theories, a private reconciliation, a professional reset, a gradual return planned carefully to avoid backlash. Some believed a joint appearance was already scheduled. Others insisted this was closure, not a comeback. Then came the leak. An anonymous source claimed that Faye and Yoko had shared a brief conversation backstage, less than 3 minutes. No arguments, no tears, just acknowledgement, gratitude, and an agreement to let the past stay where it belongs. Whether true or not, the narrative shifted. This wasn't about reigniting old drama. It was about two people choosing how to move forward under a spotlight that refused to turn off. Days later, Yoko broke her silence, carefully. In an interview about her upcoming project, she was asked what 2026 meant to her. She smiled and said, "It's a year of clarity, of not running away from things that mattered." The question wasn't about Faye, but everyone heard the answer anyway. Faye spoke days after that during a brand event overseas. When asked what she took away from the Spotlight Awards night, she paused before responding. "I was reminded that time doesn't erase effort," she said. "It just gives it perspective." Again, nothing explicit. Again, nothing denied. The industry noticed the shift too. Casting rumors began circulating. Not necessarily about them working together again, but about overlapping schedules, shared appearances, and invitations to the same international events. For the first time since 2025, their names were no longer being kept apart. Fans were divided, but hopeful. Some wanted a full reunion. Some wanted peace. Others simply wanted honesty, whatever form it took. And somewhere between the noise and the quiet moments, one thing became clear. Faye and Yoko had stepped into the same space again, not because of pressure, not because of nostalgia, but because they were ready. The Spotlight Awards hadn't forced a reunion. It had tested one. And the story wasn't over yet.